Okay, you're going to need some fresh dill, some fresh parsley, an onion, some parsnips, a few carrots, and some chicken. And we can't forget about the salt and pepper. So we're going to wrap the parsley in a bunch with some thread, tie it together really good, because you're going to take it all out at the end of the cooking. And this makes it easier to take out. And then we're going to do the same with the dill. Then I'm going to pour water to cover it. Throw in your salt and pepper. And then put it on the stove and bring it to a full boil. Once the pot is boiling full, then you want to remember to add your celery, which I forgot earlier, sorry. And then let it simmer for 2 hours. And you can come back from time to time skimming off that little foam that gathers on the top of the water there. We want to get rid of all that stuff. Okay, now I'm going to take all the ingredients out. I'm going to save this chicken and make some yummy chicken salad with it. And the vegetables I'm going to add to a pot roast later on this week. Excuse me. The vegetables I'm going to add to my crock pot roast later on this week at the end of the cooking. So everything gets used. And we're not throwing away anything. Can't throw things away these days. Everything's too expensive. Now, this is an important step. We're going to strain the broth, and I didn't have any cheesecloth or a mesh strainer, so I improvised and used clean paper towels and my colander, which works just fine. So if you don't have one, don't worry about it, just improvise. And you do this step a couple times, because what we want, the end result, we want a very clear, crystal clear, clean broth. That's a matzah broth. Yeah, you see, so I'm taking my time, really trying to get all the little ingredients out of there. Okay, now the next step is to, well, there I go again, removing any foam from the top. We're going to take our broth and pour it into a bowl. I made that bowl when I had my pottery, by the way. It's hand-built, not wheel-thrown, but just in case you're watching Gary Reef, there's one of my pieces of artwork. So anyway, like I said, we're going to cover this and save it for... or we're going to cover it and put it in the refrigerator, I'm sorry, while we make the matzah balls. And if anyone can tell me how to deal with saran wrap, I'm open for suggestions. It seems like I always have the most difficult time. It doesn't seem to want to come off the roll. It wants to stick to itself, but then when I try to cover something with it, it won't stick to the bowl that I'm trying to cover. Oh well, anyway. So we're going to just set that aside in the refrigerator, and then we're going to put a pot of fresh water on the stove again, fill it to close to the top, put it on high, put the lid on to save energy so it'll start to boil quicker. And then we're going to use the matzah ball mix. This is the one I chose because it said Israel on it. I liked the packaging. So now I'm just following the package directions. You got to stir or blend 2 eggs together, mix them up real well. And then once you get that done, then you pour the contents of 1 package. This box actually has 2 packages in it. You're going to pour just 1 of those in there. I liked the writing on the package. And then you're going to mix that up and make sure everything gets, gets wet. Don't mix it too long, but just make sure everything gets wet. And then you're going to cover it and set it aside and let it sit for 7 minutes. And then when you come back to it, you wet your hands first, and you take a little tiny bit of the mix and you roll it into balls. Very simple. This is my first time, so I think my hands were maybe a little bit too wet on that first little ball, but the second ball I think turns out better. Yeah, give me a break. It's my first time making Matzah Ball Soup. Okay. So then when the water is ready on the stove and it's boiling, you gently add the matzo balls to it without getting burnt and let them cook for 7 minutes. And this is what they look like when they come out of the pot. Look at that. Look at the size of those things, how much they grew. So this is what they look like. Matzah ball.
Say something to me.
What are you going to do, blackmail me?
No.
I don't like to pose. Oh, you took it already.
Yeah, I'm taking it right now. You gotta talk.
Huh?
It's a video.
That's a movement? Action?
Yeah, it's a video.
Shut up, Fred. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
So you like matzo ball soup?
Yeah, I like it. If it's well done.
Well, I hope it's well done.
You don't have to be Jewish to make it.
Right, and you don't have to tell me it's not any good if it.
I'll tell you what I think.
I know.
Yeah.
I know you will.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, be a little gentle because it is the first time I made it.
Oh, your first time. Where'd you get the recipe?
I know a guy that has a bubby.
You're kidding. And you know all the language.
Well, it's zip, and it's in the back. There's like 4 little containers of it.
Okay.